Thanks for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you so much for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. And now let's get into this podversation. Hey guys, we're going to have a podversation, and this is going to be about the interview that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry did with Oprah Winfrey. Everybody's talking about it, right? Everybody is talking about it. And maybe not everybody, but there are a lot of people talking about it. You can Google it, and there's so many articles, there's so many comments, statements, and there are thousands, if maybe not millions, of videos already just talking about just this interview alone. So I'm going to make this as brief as possible, because those of you who have been subscribed to the Being Beautifully Honest channel for some time now, you know that I've done some previous videos talking about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Now, I'm not here to bash, I'm not here to attack, I'm not here to tear down. I'm just here to share my opinion based on what I view and what I see, and be beautifully honest about it, because I believe that you can share your thoughts and you can share your opinions about people without being ugly about it and without tearing them down. But if anybody comes to this video and leaves a comment saying that I am jealous of Meghan, I'm tearing Meghan down, I am a hater, I'm a sellout, or whatever, I don't even know, but I can tell that you're leaving a comment based on either the video title or the thumbnail or whatever, and I know you didn't actually take the time to watch the video. I'm not even going to waste my time blocking you. The comment will probably just end up getting deleted if you leave one, because I don't really have time for it. And to be honest with you, I debated back and forth whether I was going to even make a video about this, because I'm not going to do a review about the interview. To be quite honest, I never had any intentions or plans on watching the interview. So I didn't watch it on Sunday night. I didn't DVR it. I didn't watch it. I really just wasn't interested in it. And then I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something that someone said on a news channel, where they were talking about how she had thoughts of taking her own life and her mental issues that she was dealing with during that time. That just prompted me to want to watch the video for myself, just to see what she was talking about, because I would never doubt anyone who is saying that they're having thoughts of taking their own life, or having thoughts of, you know, breakdowns or mania or whatever, because mental health issues is one of the health issues that, bigger than obesity, is not really addressed. Actually, obesity is addressed a whole lot more than mental health issues are. That's why you see shows like My 600 Pound Life, and they're following the journeys of these people who are going to the doctor to get on a plan so that they can eventually get to an ideal weight where they can have gastric bypass surgery, because it's that much of a problem. And the show continues to have many seasons over the years. But I digress. I decided to talk about it because here's the thing. A lot of people are bashing Piers Morgan and other people who have made what they deem as either negative comments about Meghan, or maybe even people may have the opinion that if someone is saying things about Meghan in terms of her character, or how they see her as being in their own eyes and their own opinions, and not being favorable towards her, they see that as being racist. Look, I'm not a Caucasian person, and I'm not somebody who even cares about interracial relationships either way, because, you know, that's people's business. If they choose to do that, then they choose to do that. But I did watch the video, I watched the interview, and I actually had to watch it a couple of times. And the reason being is because the first time I watched it on CBS.com. I went on the website and I watched it on there on Tuesday night, and I fell asleep watching it. And I'm not saying that to say that it bored me to sleep. But honestly, it wasn't something that was intriguing to me, or it kept me on my toes, or I was just so enthralled by what was being shared that I had to, stay on, on the site and continue to watch it until the end. I went to sleep watching it. I fell asleep watching it, and I wonder why my phone died actually, during the night, because I forgot to put it on the charger. I literally fell asleep watching it. But here's the thing. I didn't sit there and take notes. Obviously, I fell asleep watching it, and then I had to watch it the following morning while I was getting ready for work for the day. I don't doubt that the experiences that Meghan said she had actually happened. Maybe they actually did happen. I'm not going to be one of those people, and I'm not going to say that she isn't telling the truth. She probably is telling the truth. She probably did experience those things, and Harry he seconded her emotion. He seconded her, her thoughts and her expressing her views on the situations as they happen in her eyesight. I do believe that she experienced some things that were not very favorable to her. I don't know if everything was about race. I'm not saying that there's not racism over there. There absolutely is racism everywhere. There are people who are racist. But here's the thing, in my opinion, and I said this in one of my previous videos, and if you guys want to go back through my videos to see where I talked about it, I did a video where I was talking about Wendy Williams and some things that she revealed about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry and that relationship, and I was questioning, was Wendy Williams right about Meghan Markle? And then some of the things that she was saying I agreed with. And I know that Wendy Williams gets a lot of bad negative press and a bad rap in terms of sharing her opinions and views on people, but she's not always wrong. Sometimes, actually a lot of times, she's right. And despite her having the issues that she has with her own sobriety, there's an old saying that a drunk person will tell the truth. So that's, neither here nor there, but I'm just saying that to say her having sobriety issues does not make her out to be a liar or make her out to be someone who's not credible or someone who doesn't know what they're talking about. But Meghan is older than Harry. Harry was born into the royal family. He had no choice but to be in that. I felt like the things that she was sharing, especially when it came to the treatment that the press, the paparazzi, the not, I won't say really blogs, but yeah, there's some blogs, but the tabloids, the tabloids in the UK. And the stories that were shared about her versus the stories that were shared about Kate. In my opinion, even though there were some people who made statements, and the things that they showed were more so in the comment sections of videos or maybe on websites of tabloid circulars, were the comments that people were making versus the people in the press were making about, comparing her and a monkey and some other comments that were made. The majority of the things, it was about her being a brat or about her being entitled. And I believe that with Meghan, the comparisons that a lot of them were making between her and Kate, it was more about who they liked better or who they, favored better. And Meghan coming into this situation, a lot of people don't like change. She stated that Queen Elizabeth and even Prince Charles, she never really had any problems with them. She didn't name the names of the ones that she felt like did have a problem with her. But with them being as up in age as they are, in their 90s, and them accepting, for the most part, accepting her, that alone was huge. Prince Charles walked her down the aisle of her wedding. Her own father wasn't there. Some people say that rightfully so, she should have cut him off because he got paid by the tabloids to do a story about her or do a story about their personal information. People make mistakes, and for her to cut her father off, like just completely cut him off, that reminds me a lot of Kim Zolciak, when she cut her parents off because they used the bathroom in her house versus using the porta potty when she got married on her special that she had on the Bravo network, Tardy Don't Be Tardy, when she got married to Croy. You only have one mother and you only have one father. I don't know the depths of their relationship, but in that interview, when she said how she lost her father, she lost a baby, when you say that you lost your father and he is still alive, that right there is like, that jolted me a little bit. I was like, wow, she's speaking about her dad as if he's dead. So in a way, she was basically saying that her dad is dead to her. Okay, so your dad is dead to you based on him doing a story with the tabloids and getting paid for it or whatever. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm not excusing it, but that's your dad. So you pretty much like just cut your dad off. You said your dad is dead to you, and Prince Charles is taking on that role. I believe that she felt like, I'm not that black girl. Yeah, my mom is black, but I don't portray myself to be that way. I don't look like those black girls. And this is one of the things that I don't really connect with Meghan Markle. Not that I really care to connect with her, because again, I didn't know anything about her until she got with Prince Harry, and then it was all about them dating in the headlines and then eventually getting engaged, and then of course the quote-unquote royal wedding. So they have the royal wedding. Then a lot of people, especially, you know, African American women in the media, when it came to that wedding, it was like they were just celebrating it. Oh, this is black girl magic. She's getting her prince. It almost gave people the perception that this is a new day. And there were some people who even said that, like, this is a new day in the monarchy. And I said to myself, no, it's not. This one person is not going to change all of those years of tradition. Look at what Princess Diana went through. She freaking lost her life due to the tabloids, and Prince Charles was never happy with her. He actually was in love with Camilla Parker Bowles, and now he's with her, and he's been with her since Diana died. I mean, he was with her before she died, but they got married. And so for Prince Harry to lose his mother, and this is something else that I said in another previous video that I did. I probably did that video either early 2020 or in 2019. Can't remember exactly when. I said this. I talked about the fact that Harry is in this, you know, in this role. He is the son of Prince Charles. He will never be the king. It would be highly unlikely that he would ever become the king. And whenever they have these events or whatever they call these things, where they all have to be presented and they all have to be there, they all have to be present, I should say, the woman who was his dad's mistress is there all the time, and his mom is gone. Like, who would really want to be around that? In their right mind, who would really want to be around that if they had a choice? So when Prince Harry said that in a way he felt like he was stuck, I believe that. And I believe that Meghan coming into this institution, that was never going to change for her, especially for her. If there were going to be any changes, it wasn't going to be because of Meghan Markle. Because let's be honest, like I said before, Meghan Markle does not present herself to be like Tia and Tamara Mowry. You know, let's think of somebody else of mixed race or who is biracial. Can't really think of, you know, anyone else at the moment off the top of my head, but those of you who are familiar with Tia and Tamara Mowry, you know that their father is Caucasian and their mom is African American. When you look at these girls, even when they have their hair blown out and it's straight, you can tell that they are biracial. For a lot of people who looked at Meghan Markle, you could not really tell. And if you look at her and her dad, like right by each other, poor thing, they look exactly alike. He is very unattractive. And she's got those same beady, sunken in eyes that he has. I really wish she would stop doing all that eyeliner around her eyes, because when she lines her eyes at the top and the bottom, it closes her eyes in even more, and it makes her eyes just look like beady. So for those people who don't like Meghan Markle and they make the comments about she looks sneaky or talking about her eyes and all that other stuff, she would be better suited if she would not do all of that eyeliner and black eyeshadow, because it just makes her eyes sunken in a whole lot more. But that's another story for, a beauty topic, and that's not what we're here to talk about right now. But you never see her in her natural hair state. She always makes sure that her hair is blown out. It looks like she has even lightened her skin a bit, because if you look at earlier pictures of her, even though her skin was not very dark, but her skin did look darker. So it's almost like she has lightened her skin a bit and avoids the sun. She does not present herself to look like a biracial woman. She really comes across as someone who is white. She does. And I believe that that's what she wanted, and that's what she actually expected. She did not expect to be treated like a black person. She really didn't. So for me, from what I heard her talk about and from the things that I have seen, it was almost as if she was disappointed because she did not expect to be treated like an actual black person, because she doesn't present herself to be that way. That's what I see. That's my opinion. Don't beat me, over the head, because that's my opinion. But that's what it has looked like from the time she has presented herself up until now. And I believe that she was expecting this storybook lifestyle. And I've talked about this before as well. She had the photo shoots with Prince Harry where they announced their engagement, and the interviews before that. And she came across very confident, speaking for him and over him sometimes. She's older than him. She's been married before. The person that she was married to before was also a Caucasian man. She just doesn't present herself to be somebody who really embraces her ethnicity overall. Yeah, she's talking about it now, but it's almost like it is convenient to use it now. And that's the way I see it. That's the way she seems like she has presented it to me. And so I also don't believe that the racism, calls that she has, said were, around, that caused her to feel isolated or caused her to, feel whatever she was feeling, is the only reason why she needed to get out of there, or wanted to get out of there, I should say. For me, from what she shared in the interview, it was a whole lot more about the constraints and not being able to live the lifestyle that she thought she would be able to live, because it was very controlling. And coming from someone who was a lot more independent and having to ask permission to do a lot of things, and not being able to do a lot of the things that she felt like she should have been able to do or wanted to do, it was just not going to fly. She wasn't like Princess Diana, where Princess Diana got married to Prince Charles when they were pretty young. Meghan Markle was already in her mid to almost late 30s, and she's also 5 years older than Prince Harry. So again, that was a lot of other things that were very unconventional. So here's the thing, and this is a question that I have, and you guys can let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Maybe there were issues where people were not happy about the choice that he made in Meghan Markle. But again, was that just about her race, or was it also because this was somebody that he chose versus someone being chosen for him? Because you have to remember, Kate was chosen for Prince William in some ways. Yeah, they were dating and courting and all that other stuff, and then it became what it was. But there was somebody else, and I believe that this is the one that they really wanted for him, which is one of the reasons why I believe sometimes he doesn't look very happy. and he doesn't have as much hair as Prince Harry has, but I don't know if that's the only reason why. I'm sure some of that has to do with genetics. So Prince Harry was blessed to have the hair and the hairline versus Prince William. But I digress. Is it just because of her race, or is it also because, or maybe just because, this was not the person that was chosen for him? He was the person to choose this person, and we would have rather have made the choice for him. Because again, that control, losing that control, that royal family seems to be a lot about control. There are a lot of things that they can't even eat. There's certain foods that are prohibited that they're not able to eat. And I talked about that before in the past as well, because again, I never followed the royal family. I still don't follow them. I only know about the things that I've, been learning over the past couple of years, since having so much more information about them in the headlines here, because of Meghan Markle being an American citizen, being married to somebody in the royal family. There's just a whole lot more news headlines about them at times. So when I read this article one time where they were talking about certain foods that are prohibited to be eaten by those in the royal family, I was like, wow, like this control really goes deep. So I do believe that Meghan Markle is telling the truth about the things that she experienced. I don't believe that she's lying about those things. She didn't seem to have any ill intent with regards to Kate. Oprah Winfrey asked the question and she answered it. I don't believe that the girl is lying about that, but she also didn't seem to be throwing Kate under the bus or tearing Kate down or anything like that. She said, this is actually what happened, and she apologized for it, and I've forgiven her, and we've moved on from it. So I really don't have any issues, with her. So it didn't seem like she was tearing her down in that way. I know some people have said she threw Kate under the bus. I don't agree with that. I actually don't believe she really threw anyone under the bus. I just believe that she was expecting a fairy tale lifestyle. Life is not a fairy tale, period. Not even for the people in the royal family, because Prince Harry has clearly stated that in the interview, that having the freedoms, even though he has to have a lot of security, having the freedoms that he has now has really opened his eyes to how much he was really suppressed when he didn't know anything else but that life. That's all he really knew. And he says, so now I feel like, my dad and Prince William, like, they're trapped. Like, they don't have a choice. This is what they are going to be. This is who they are. And I'll still love them and always will love them, but it's just different now. And I believe that. I do believe that Prince Harry has made it clear that I'm here for my family. I do believe that he loves his wife. I do. Now, you can Google it. I mean, there's photos. I won't say video, but there's photos of him with a swastika, and there's some questionable things about his past as well. I'm not saying people can't change. If they choose to change, they can. But for Meghan to think that entire monarchy and everything that goes on was going to change simply because she is who she is, she was sadly mistaken. If she thought that, she was sadly mistaken. She really wanted the fairy tale lifestyle. She wanted to live the life. I'm not saying she wanted to be a lazy person and not ever work or do anything that was meaningful or that was, entailing work or anything like that. But I really felt like she was expecting her life to be like the wedding day, where she was being chauffeured around here and chauffeured around there and celebrated, and the people of the UK gathering to catch a glimpse of her. Yeah, that stuff was still happening, but under the control mechanisms within the royal family was how it was going to happen, not her just living a carefree lifestyle and coming out to go shopping, like the celebrity type of lifestyle. I believe she was looking to live that A-list celebrity lifestyle in the UK, which she was a celebrity, but she was not an A-list celebrity. A lot of people didn't know about her. You would not put her and who's a A-list celebrity like Kate Hudson. You would not put them next to each other and say they're on the same level. And listen, I don't really follow celebrities, so forgive me if Kate Hudson is no longer an A-list celebrity. I don't know. I don't follow these people like that, but I'm just saying, you didn't really know much about her. She was a Deal or No Deal suitcase holder at one point. She was on the show Suits on the USA Network, a low budget basic cable network television company or channel, and a lot of people didn't know about the show, so a lot of people really did not know about her. You had to really watch those things to know who she was. So she didn't live an A-list celebrity lifestyle, but becoming the wife of Prince Harry, and then now she's friends with Tyler Perry, and they stayed in his house for 3 months and he provided security for them. Like, do you think that that's something he really would have been doing for her if she never was connected with Prince Harry? Absolutely not. She's now friends with Oprah Winfrey, and her and Gayle King are really great friends. Like, bullcrap. They're not really friends. But again, this is the connections that she now has because of her being the wife of Prince Harry. And Beyonce and Jay-Z comes to her wedding along with other celebrities like Idris Elba and, these other people. It's like, this is the lifestyle she really wanted. So she said that at the end of the interview, she said, like, it's kind of like a fairy tale, a happy ending, because now I really have what I really, really wanted, which was to be able to live the A-list celebrity lifestyle, not really have to work. If I just speak, I'm getting paid millions of dollars just to speak, and I get to hang out with Oprah Winfrey if I want to. And that's why she didn't have to get paid for this interview. Like, because that was one of the questions that, I don't really want to say question, but that was one of the comments that was made at the beginning of the interview, because Oprah said, just to clarify, you're not being paid for this interview. Why the heck would she have to be paid for the interview? Because you guys are so-called friends now, and this is going to garner millions and millions and millions of views, and it's going to gain her more access and more opportunities and all of those things. And of course, the backlash comes along with it, but it's going to bolster her up higher. And now she's pregnant with their second child, so that's going to be more press and all those other things. Trust me, guys, I'm not hating on the girl. I really am indifferent towards it. I just wanted to say that she was expecting the fairy tale, and it really was never going to be that in the royal family. So yes, her feelings are valid. Did she experience some racist moments? Did people make comments about her baby and what would the skin color of the baby be, and those other stupid, ridiculous comments that people make? Absolutely, it probably did happen. But was that what really drove her out of the monarchy? I don't want to say that it didn't contribute, but I feel that a lot of it was more so the control that was had over her life, and that's just not something that she was used to. It is hard. I don't care how much money or access that someone has. It is hard to lose your freedom when you are used to having that. So it's similar to being in prison, although you're not behind bars and you're not being deprived of, decent living quarters and having to pee in public and having guards check on you and all that other stuff like you're in prison. But being able to just freely come and go as you choose versus having to go through a hierarchy of, may I do this, may I do that, and then being shut down or saying, okay, yeah, that's possible, or all that other stuff when that's not what you're used to having to do. That is what I believe really drove her out of there. It was more of the change of going from having the freedom versus not having the freedom. And the racism that she did say she experienced may have contributed and you know, been a factor that helped to bolster that decision to say, you know what, I want out of here. But I don't believe that that was exactly what the complete and total reason was for her deciding to, you know, be out of there. Because if you remember, she left first and then Harry left. So I just hope that she gets, I'm sure she will, get the help that she needs for her mind. I never would wish anyone to want to be in a lowly state like that where they feel like they just don't want to live anymore. But I do believe a lot of that had to do with losing the freedoms that she was used to and that she thought and assumed that she was going to have being a part of the royal family. She didn't do her homework. And she stated that as well. She said, I never did research on him. I didn't do research on the royal family. I just didn't know. So she really, and she said this too, I went into it naive. So I do believe that the majority of the reasons as to why she and Harry left was because of the constraints that they had and also the comparisons between her and Kate. I don't believe all of the comparisons had to do with, okay, she's white, she's black. I just don't believe that. Sometimes it's just, I believe that if she were just a complete white woman, there would have been a lot of negative things said about her too. Of course, there may not have been some of the race things that were said, but I do believe that a lot of negative things would have been said about her too, because it's just the way people are. A lot of times people don't like the next person. They want to just adore the first person that was there, and they don't like the second runner-up. Period. It's just the way that people's mindsets work a lot of times. But guys, I'm quite sure this is not going to be the last video that I will do about this. Not so much about the interview, but about things that may come up, because this has already gone on long enough in this video conversation. I did not intend for it to be this long, but I really just wanted to share my thoughts on what I saw and just talk about the fact that I believe she went into it thinking it was going to be a fairy tale, and it really wasn't. So that is the main reason why she decided to get out. So yeah, there probably was some racist things that hurt her feelings that were said or that were shared that she did not appreciate, but I don't believe that that was the deciding factor in what, you know, caused her to say, you know, I want to get out of here. It is definitely an easy thing to do to blame the media and the tabloids and say that they were the reasons that they needed to get out of there, but it's really not, I believe, the main reason as to why they decided to get out of there. But again, those are my thoughts and views. Feel free to leave yours respectfully in the comment section. I appreciate you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until the next time, I'm just being beautifully honest.